Bad bitches. Let's talk about it. For years, we've been hypnotized by the bad bitches on these social platforms. Private planes, popping bottles, Birkin bags, always on vacation. But we're finding out from the Diddy trial, these bad bitches up to bad things. Now, one of the so-called bad bitches is on the stand right now in the Diddy trial. I'm not going to say her name, but it is said that it is 50 Cent's baby mom. She alleges that she would fuck 3 strangers a night for Diddy. This would go on 4 and 5 days at a time, and she said he wouldn't allow condoms to be used on her. He wanted to see that dick. She said she was coked up, ketamine, ecstasy, every drug there was, and she never used them before, and he paid her $10K a month. Y'all getting slutted out, drugged out, beat the fuck up, and y'all make more than my regular ass? Do the math. $10K a month, you were making $330 a day to fuck 3 strangers in a night. That's not luxury. That's exploitation wrapped in a Louis Vuitton bag. $10K a month. Regular bitches, don't y'all ever get triggered by these hoes again. My rent is $4K, eggs are $3K. I make double of what you make a month, and I don't have to sit and fuck strange dudes all night just so my man can come. And they're the ones that's supposed to get treated like, put on a pedestal. I mean, they're all beautiful. Cassie, Gina, 50 Cent's baby mama. But they're getting passed around like Wi-Fi at a music fest. And we can stop using their lingo too, soft life. Soft life we now know is just you taking a stranger's hard dick life. We're like, oh, they're always on vacation. No, they're at freak offs. And 50, I thought this was you.
Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire.
Cause your baby moms is out here getting slutted the fuck out for $10K a month. Don't sound like millionaire shit to me. So if you're calling yourself a bad bitch and you're doing all this gutter shit, you're not a bad bitch. You're living a high price lie.
I feel like when people talk about these victims like this, it's given jealous or envy. I mean, that's what it feels like and look like to me. Okay, because at the end of the day, these women were victims. These women were obviously coerced into doing these things. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to briefly explain what's going on and why he was only giving her $10K a month. Because for what she's been through, she deserved way more than $10K. As a matter of fact, she should file a lawsuit and get paid like Cassie. That's what I believe. So what I want you to understand is what is happening with these men and these women, what they are doing. I believe that, most of these so-called orgies and stuff like that, I really do believe that they are sex magic rituals that is happening. And a lot of the people that attend these spicy parties aren't even aware that their body and their energy is being used in sex magic. I am working on a longer, more in-depth version of this video for my Patreon, where I'm going to be completely uncensored and I am going to break down everything, spiritually, metaphysically, everything, okay? So make sure you sign up to my Patreon. The link is in the description. Anyway, so yes, these are parasitic ceremonies. What men like Diddy, R. Kelly, and Epstein are doing or orchestrating, they are basically crafting energy harvesting rituals. And what do these rituals need? Aside from the victims, okay? The rituals, they need submission, humiliation, psychic fragmentation via drugs, trauma, and degradation. And it also needs a lack of consent or true compensation. They cannot compensate these girls properly, because if they do, then it would mean that it's an even exchange of energy, okay? Men are very energetically, spiritually, and emotionally attached to their money. If you don't believe me, just watch how men react and watch how they behave around money. It's very emotional. So in this situation, if the woman is whole, if she's conscious, respected, and well paid, the rituals are not going to work, because the power only flows when the woman is fractured. Reciprocation breaks the spell. I'm going to talk about this more deeper on my Patreon, okay? But reciprocation breaks the spell, because if they compensate the woman properly, energetically, financially, and spiritually, the dynamic would shift into a mutual exchange and the extraction would stop. This is the reason why when women get with certain men, they start losing their beauty and their shine or whatnot, is because they are being siphoned. They've attached themselves to a parasite. All right. They need to be charged, all right? These parasites or demons or entities or whatever the hell you want to call them, they need to be charged with energy. And they don't get the charge of domination when they reciprocate and compensate. They're not getting the energetic fuel of degradation. And what that means is that they don't get to sit in the false god role, the watcher or the puppeteer or whatever you want to call it, okay? When you hear about these girls going to Dubai and doing some terrible things and all they get is like 20K or 50K, it sounds like a lot of money to some people, but it is not. It is not proper compensation for what these girls are doing. It's not proper compensation. This is why they wither away, they come back traumatized, their life starts falling apart, and the men are getting wealthier and wealthier. All right, so you got to remember that reciprocation, it breaks the spell and it turns it into mutual exchange. So these men are not, it's not about sex, it's all about control. And they feed off this empowerment, not just, the person's bodies. All right, so it has nothing to do with pleasure. It never have and never will be about pleasure because that man was feeding on these women. All right, because power stolen is more potent than power earned in their system. Okay, I'm going to talk about the system that this system that is designed to do what these people are doing. I'm going to talk about that on my Patreon. I'm hoping that this video doesn't get flagged because I mentioned Mepstein. I'm going to pronounce his name as Mepstein. I mentioned his name, but these men, like Mepstein and Diddy and them weirdos out in Dubai or whatnot, they use archetypal magic because their behavior, it follows ancient dark magic patterns. Ancient. This shit is not new. All right. What we have is sexual inversion with, making the sacred profane because sex is supposed to be a sacred ritual, it's supposed to be sacred. Okay. The way that people treat sex and view sex now is disturbing. And then in order for the magic to work, you also need womb violation. What does that mean? It means that they are attacking the creative portal. They also need consent reversal, turning yes into forced compliance. So they're going to come to you and they're going to tell you, oh, I'm going to pay you this much money and all you have to do is this or whatnot. And you're thinking, well, oh, that's easy. But then when you perform the task that they're paying you for, it's not just an easy smash and grab. Like, no, it's not like that. It goes on for hours and even days. Your energy is being extracted for a long period of time. This is spiritual siphoning. Okay, what they're doing, they are draining the person's life force through sex, through pain and humiliation. Even the refusal to allow healing, right? Like no condoms, not being allowed to use condoms, not being allowed to rest in between the so-called freak offs, constant UTIs and yeast infection, because that's what the girl basically described. The same thing as Cassie. She had to do those freak offs even when she had them UTIs and yeast infection. And if you've ever had a UTIs and yeast infection, did you know how uncomfortable that shit is? Okay. And those things, it takes time. It takes a little bit of time to heal. Like a yeast infection will take you about a week to heal. UTIs, it depends. Okay. They're not even getting rest in between. Constantly drugged up. It's ridiculous. All right. This is ritualistic. And the fact that he's not requiring rest, it ensures that the victim is raw and energetically open and continuously leaking. All right, because that in itself is the siphon point. And this is exactly why these women come out of these experiences broken emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But the men, they get richer, more famous, more powerful. All of this weird depravity is cloaked in fame, luxury, consent by coercion, PR spin, all, all the pictures, always on vacation, you know, all of that stuff. We look at that stuff and we're like, oh, you're envious. You want to be a bad bitch. You have no idea what these girls are going through. And not every girl that is on vacation all the time is doing this, because people believe I'm on vacation all the time because I would post like an old picture or video of a trip that I took 3 years ago, and people think I'm on vacation. I'm not. I be at home in the house. I'm gonna keep it short. If you want to know more, I'm gonna do a deep dive and more in-depth version of this on my Patreon. Okay, I'm basically going to explain how they siphon our energy, and I'm going to share more metaphysical information based on this. All right. And I will even, recommend some books for you ladies as well. But I'm going to make a longer video and I'm going to post it on my Patreon because I'm not going to post that video on YouTube. Hell no. But yeah, that's literally all I have to say. Like I really don't have anything else to say right now. Thanks for listening.